A single mother says she's a survivor tonight. She walked away from a killer. Raul Garza confessed to killing his wife and a young girl in his home in Weslaco. He also admitted to kidnapping his neighbor. He never met her. Officers found him casing a Walmart for a victim the same day the neighbor he kidnapped escaped. And tonight, for the first time, that neighbor tells us her story of survival, only to Channel 5's Farah Fasal and photojournalist Mario Sandoval.
She's telling her story to show other women the impossible is possible. Don't call her a victim. She says she's not. She's a survivor. The early morning sun broke through the clouds with the promise of another day. It fell on a quiet street called Pueblo del Sol, the town of the sun.
I heard a knock on the door.
It was the neighbor 2 houses down. He came to give her 2 bags of recyclables. She and her children collected them. The knock came again, 3 more times.
But I personally never knew him. I didn't even know his name.
Andrea Tafoya's giving spirit drove her from her comfortable bed to a house 2 doors down.
I'm walking in and it's kind of dark, and I'm like starting to see all this like clothes and chaos, and there's no noise, no kids are running around, and he points, in the direction of the garage. I'm thinking, if she's working in there, there should be light. And as I'm walking in, he yells like, "Don't be scared," but in this deep voice. My back is facing him, so I kind of like took a deep breath, because inside of me I kind of thought, his wife's not here, like he's gonna rape me.
She was a single mother. Her daughters needed her to stay alive.
I kind of like smiled and said, like, "Where's your wife?" And then he goes, "She's right there on the floor, like she's dead. I killed her." Her face. It was unrecognizable. It had dry blood. It was purple. Her lips were so swollen, it didn't look like it was a human. The rest of her body was covered with a sheet.
He showed her the body of a child. He'd killed the child after she tried to save his wife.
And I said, "Oh, I've already seen that before." And he said, "Where?" With a strong voice, "Where?" And I said, "On TV." I watched those reality shows.
She was fascinated by stories of people who survived incredible odds. And what did you remember from those shows?
If you're ever in that situation that you need to make the person see you as a human and not as an object or like an animal, I knew that I had to get at his level. I don't know, I didn't panic.
Were you afraid?
Yes. I was very afraid. He goes, "Because if you don't help me, I'm going to kill your daughters." He's standing in the entrance to the garage. There's no way out. And he has a knife. I just knew that I had to survive. And I knew that I wasn't going to show him that I feared him.
He told her he wanted her car.
He had a cold look in his face.
He forced her to walk to her house. He had a knife in his pocket. He threatened to kill her daughters if she tried to get away.
I'm talking to him as if I'm his friend. I'm telling him, "You can take my car. It has full coverage. Here are the keys." I said, "I'll give you $100 also, so you don't have to worry about money." I just wanted him to leave. And he kind of panics because I think everything is going too well. It's surprising him.
He didn't leave.
I get my next stage of strength because I know that my daughter and the neighbor's daughter are inside sleeping.
He wanted to go inside Andrea's house.
And he told me to get into that room. and he closed the door. And then I locked it to make sure that my daughter would not come in. I found out about how he killed his wife. He kind of went into detail, which I didn't stop him. I never asked him.
He told her how he killed the child.
That he was choking her and that she wouldn't die. So then that's when he started stabbing her, and that he couldn't stop stabbing her.
The gruesome details were intimidating. She focused on saving her children.
Or I was kind of telling him, like, you know, I'll take you to the ATMs, I'll pull out money, I'll give you money, go to Mexico. He got upset and he's like, are you telling me what to do? Like, because if you're telling me what to do, that's what my wife was doing, and that's why she's dead. I said, I'm not telling you what to do. I said, I'm sorry.
She says he snorted cocaine the entire time.
He's telling me, I'm not going to kidnap you. I'm going to kidnap your daughter. And I wasn't going to let that happen.
He put a small bag of cocaine in her hands and asked her to use the drugs. She said no.
So he's getting mad, and I think at this point, he stabs the mattress with the knife.
She pushed some of the cocaine onto the floor. She knew it could be evidence against him later. She talked her way out of doing the drugs.
But never did I shed a tear, or did I show him fear. Showed him, like, I'm strong like you.
Did he ever try to rape you?
No. No. He said that the cocaine made him impotent, but that if he could, he would.
You tried to make yourself human to him in that room, didn't you? What did you do?
I started talking to him. I started remembering that on Saturday, I graduate from STC, and I kept thinking, I've been working for this degree for 3 years. And that I wasn't going to live to walk. Even though it's only an associate's, it was a big step for me, for my children. And I told him, I started telling him how, like, my daughters needed me. That I was the only thing that they had. And all of a sudden he says, okay, we're gonna leave.
Andrea finds her moment to escape when we continue in 2 minutes.